Hi guys, I'm Marcel. Welcome back to The Pulse. Today we're going to discuss a lack of trust throughout the supplement world and the industry that affects us the most, the supplement industry. But before we can talk about that industry, we've got to first discuss the drug industry because they're the driving force behind the various government agencies, the institutions that are governed by those agencies, and then the various entities and individuals that fall under those institutions. And trust, we don't trust Amazon, and I bundle David Sinclair with that. We don't trust him either, right? Who else don't we trust? We don't trust the advertising world. And as an aside to this, if you look at Tesla and the way that they marketed their vehicles, whether you like them or not, beside the point. Whatever you think of their CEO, is really beside the point. The fact is, they made a product that took over their industry, at least that sector, the EV part of it, right? And more, they're beating out regular cars in many aspects. Definitely performance and sales growth. But what did they do? They didn't advertise. And so advertising has sort of been exposed in the process. Like every time you see a car ad now, you go, why do they have to advertise it? Right? Tesla doesn't have to advertise. Why do you have to advertise? If your car's so great, word of mouth and media coverage and YouTube videos should be enough in this day and age. If you have to advertise, it's desperation. And more, that's the lens that advertising is seen through. Almost any kind of advertising. It went from bad to worse to where I think it's just outdated. It's really archaic now to run ads. Because if you've got something that's good, it's going to take on a life of its own. Make a good thing, and it will take on a life of its own and spread virally. You have this viral mechanism now where people are online and people just love to talk about things that they like. And especially, we're getting really close to home here, if they like something, like a supplement company, and I talk about it, I tell the story, and then I partner with that company and I say, well, there's a code, use the code, get the thing, you'll like the thing. And then if you like the thing, it grows my channel, and then we reach more people. So we don't need to advertise. They don't need to advertise, right? I just need to talk about something I like, and this is the new normal. That's why influencers are everywhere now, in every facet of our society. And ads are like these annoying things that keep popping up that nobody wants to see. How effective they are, I'm sure they're still somewhat effective. And they're getting more and more intelligent, and they're using AI to trick us into thinking they're either not ads or they're more interesting than they would be otherwise. And this is really the primary topic at hand, right? How to navigate getting things like NMN or anything in this day and age. What do you need to look for? You need to beware of advertising. Nothing makes my heart sink faster than getting a message from someone that they just watched a video of mine where I talked about NMN and the results I'm getting, and then they got an ad, right? The algorithm found them and looking at the video and that they watched the whole thing. Like the science behind this is crazy. Their trackability of this is just crazy. It's scary. And so they say, well, here's an ad. You like NMN, here's an ad. And then they buy that thing. And it turns out to be a multi-supplement with very little NMN in it, or less than that I'm taking for sure. And you can't regulate multi-supplements. I've posted about this as well. So you can't trust a lot of the supplement companies out there. I don't think that 2/3 of untrustworthy NMN is exclusive to Amazon. I believe it's much wider spread because of the kinds of spam that I get in my own inbox and because of the ads that I see posted nonstop and the way they illegally use David Sinclair's image and his reputation and his science, right? I'll kind of defend him in this sense because there are companies and entities illegally using his image and his information without authorization. And so they're using him to promote their products. And I've seen this in ads and I've seen this on websites, and they try to get him taken down, Sinclair and his team and his defense team. So there are, he's certainly got a right to defend his own likeness, his own image and his reputation and his own quotes and his information that he's put out there. And so you can't really trust half, at least, probably 2/3 of the supplement entities out there. They're foreign entities. I'm not pointing specifically at China, but it just so happens that one of the big the primary fake company, the whole umbrella company, and then you had a bunch of different brand names, were a company that I mentioned in another video that was located in Shanghai, which is where a lot of legitimate NMN comes from. So it's really getting hard to delineate between the two. And I think we got to kind of close ranks. And I think, from an NMN perspective, the answer to the question of where to find NMN, I don't think there's any more options anymore. I think you go to Do Not Age or you go to Pro Health Longevity, and I personally can't vouch for anybody else. I can personally vouch for those for very direct reasons that I've spelled out before, but I take Do Not Age, I've tested their stuff at the lab, and the same NMN that Do Not Age sources, Pro Health Longevity sources. The biggest difference is size, scope, different options to take with it. They differ slightly. I'm not associated with Pro Health Longevity. I don't have a story arc. It's literally what I told them. I like them. They convinced me, right, that they are legit. And also, Alan Graves at Do Not Age has a high level of respect for the founder of Pro Health Longevity, Rich Carson. I mean, he blazed the trail for a lot of legit companies out there. He's a great guy. I've talked to him several times now, and he's just a really great guy. He's no longer like day-to-day operations. They have another CEO now running things, Dan Obiji, also a great guy. So I like that company. I can vouch for them, but I'm not going to put them, they're not in my story arc. They're not, I don't take their supplements. So it don't feel right about putting them in the description. So, supplement companies, you got to be careful. Most of them you can't trust. I really have to narrow that down. Now, what supplements can you trust? The only 4 supplements, as far as energy, longevity, sharpness of thinking, helping me live healthier, is our NMN, which I mean pure NMN, not as part of a multi-supplement. Then TMG for safety reasons. That is really, it seems very widespread unanimously that TMG should be taken with NMN. That's a good idea. TMG on its own is a good idea. There's even a recent video where I love that thumbnail. Brad Stanfield is flexing, and he's talking about TMG. It's awesome. I'm more and more on Team Fisetin. I think even if you don't want to take resveratrol and quercetin, I can just tell you, Fisetin is something you feel. You feel it. You feel something from it. And it's a flavonoid and does a similar function to resveratrol and quercetin. It's in that same family of supplements. So I would say that one is what I consider a really great longevity supplement for aging population. And then CAAKG, something I also feel when I take it. Yes, I take others, but that's like the big 4. You really want to narrow it down to the ones I truly trust the most. We're talking about trust today, right? The ones that I personally trust, it's those 4. So it's those 2 companies, those 4 things. And more, because of AI, and we'll talk about AI in just a sec here, because of the scientists who are weighing in they all have their own agendas. Supplement companies are all kind of going the same direction, but they don't want to partner with each other. They don't want to cooperate, which is a real problem and why I really love Dan Fabricant, because Dan Fabricant's like the Pied Piper. He's like, come on, guys, we got to go this way. And then you just march with him, right? Most of them, the smart ones. But they don't want to cooperate, and I found this to be very frustrating at times. Like I've been trying to do round tables and get different CEOs together and different scientists together. It's really tough. It's been really tough, and I've been a bit deflated by this, by the lack of cooperation of an industry. Now, because if you get back, let's go back to the beginning here. Drug industry, regulatory agencies, institutions, and then entities, both individuals and corporate entities. Right? That's kind of the hierarchy of domination of your health and things that are related to your health. But there's a junior partner that also has a voice, and it's growing, and that's the supplement industry. So that's why I say Dan Fabricant's like the Pied Piper. He's the guy grouping these people together, and us, and you, and me, and he's representing all of us. And there are about 5 trade organizations. Coming up, I'm going to do a video about all 5 of the main ones in the U.S. And they have sister, organizations around the world. So it's an interconnected web of representation for natural products. And it's very important. I think it's everything, to be honest. Because the only way we're going to fix this, if this whole structure, this whole hierarchy, as I called it, is an organism, the organism is sick, right? Causing sick people. We are part of this organism and we are sick, and it's sick. The whole system is sick. The food supply is sick. The drug supply is sick. The advertising is sick. It's all ill. It's all ill, And if we're going to shift towards natural products for healthy purposes, I say healthy living nurtures healthy thinking. And the more that we live healthy, that's one of the biggest reasons I'm a proponent for wellness in general, not just supplements. Supplements as a tool, as a supplemental tool, but this entire industry can help us promote healthy living, wellness, can help us promote healthy thinking. We can see more clearly. And as I've been able to become more clear in my thoughts and also my vision, as I also posted recently in a video, I've seen more and more that the way forward for us is to rally behind natural products, wellness, healthy living, to where it can move, sort of shrink some of the influence, devour some of the influence, so that there's a counterbalance for the drug industry. I'm not saying the drug industry should go away. And I'm also not saying the drug industry should swallow the natural products industry. And that's what they're trying to do. They see a threat and they just want to eat it. And I don't think that's the answer. So I think there needs to be a counterbalance. That's our best hope. At the end of the day, keep rallying in various ways, whether it's like, comment, subscribe, share, write your congressman, take Keneman, report your results, take Pfizer, report your results. This is all part of a solution. And defend our turf. Defend our rights. Because send them in now and it's personal freedoms tomorrow. And, not just more supplements, but actually we're fighting for our rights to put what we want in our body and do what we wish with our bodies. So keep that in mind. Subscribe, share this with people if you think it's important. And I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys soon.